Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Rob from Heroes Avenue. Merry Christmas to everyone out there. It is Christmas Eve as of filming this right now, but I wanted to talk about some news topics. One that's relatively new, the other from 2 days ago, and it has to do with Michael Keaton coming back as the Batman in not just The Flash, but the Batgirl HBO Max movie. The second topic is going to be on Superman as a character. George Miller, great director. He says he's boring. We're going to check that out in just a second. But before we do, please do like the video and subscribe to the channel. Me and Darren are really trying to get back on track in terms of making videos for the channel. Really do appreciate you guys supporting us. But with that out of the way, let's get into the main topic of the day. And it has to do with Batgirl. So 2 days ago, if you woke up and jumped onto Twitter, you saw that there was some leaked casting announcements, and a lot of people thought they were fake because they were deleted very fast. And actually, the fact that they were deleted made people start to really be curious about whether or not they were real or not. Because then why would they be deleted? Because it said Michael Keaton was going to be in the Batgirl movie. So there was a lot of debate on Twitter for like half a day. And then Leslie Grace, who is Batgirl herself, went out and just tweeted this right here. The bat is out of the bag. And she goes ahead to highlight the or tag THR on this. Sorry, I got my iPad right here just trying to review the tweets. So she says the bat's out of the bag, and automatically you get people crucifying her as if she's the one who wrote the story, wrote the script. All she did was get cast as Batgirl, guys. That's huge. But she has nothing to do with writing the script, telling the story, casting anyone. But of course she's going to support her own movie, right? So she said the bat's out of the bag, and you see right here, Michael Keaton is joining the cast as HBO Max Batgirl movie, starring Leslie Grace. The article mentions nothing about Ben Affleck as Batman, and since then there has been no mention as to whether or not Ben Affleck is going to be in the movie at all as well. Now, I feel a little bit trolled right now because if you follow Adil El Arbi or Falah Bilal, I think that's their names, on their Instagrams, you see that he's been posting things like the bat symbol, the Ben Affleck bat symbol. He's been posing next to the Ben Affleck cowl. So we all held out hope that Ben Affleck was going to reprise his role as Batman in Batgirl. Of course, it makes sense because J.K. Simmons is coming back as Commissioner Gordon, right? Well, we were apparently wrong, but not just yet. Obviously, we don't want to jump to conclusions like we've seen the movie. We don't ultimately know what's going to happen in the movie. Maybe they are holding out a little bit of a surprise. Maybe Ben Affleck is in the movie. Maybe he does not get killed in The Flash. Maybe the timeline doesn't get erased, and maybe he is going to pop up in the movie in some form or fashion. Maybe, just maybe. But if you're like me, this feels like a little bit of confirmation about all of the rumors that we've heard over the past few months, especially for one person, what is her name? Grace Randolph. She mentioned this, and I reported on this months ago I reported on her report, or her scoop, that Ben Affleck's probably out. Michael Keaton may be taking on this Nick Fury type role. And even though we suspected it would happen, it does not ease the sting. Now that it's confirmed, it still stings the fact that we have a new Batman essentially in the DCEU. Now, my take on this is, one, I am very, very disappointed in this. Makes me so bitter, even more so, about the rollout of this DC universe. Obviously, they made so many mistakes, were so reactionary. They mended a little bit of that with Zack Snyder's Justice League, but the fallout from that whole debacle led us down the path of not having Ben Affleck as Batman anymore. So in that case, I am upset. But on the other side of things, if Ben Affleck does not want to play the role anymore, if this is ultimately his decision, then I support it. We know he had some alcohol issues in the past, and he had talked about how if he kept playing Batman, he would have drank himself to death. Again, he seems all well and good right now, and while I love his Batman character, still my favorite of all time, if it's his choice to leave, then I fully support it. You got to let the man live. So if Keaton is the replacement, it still feels very messy. Again, we haven't seen the movie, so I cannot jump to full conclusions. But for me, I'm tired of living in that time capsule. Obviously, we're going to get into that in a second too with the Superman issue, but I'm tired of living in the past. Now, is Keaton coming back cool? Yes. How they do it, how they execute it, that's going to be everything as to whether I'm going to really enjoy this or not. Because while I grew up on Michael Keaton as Batman, I'm ready. I saw the other side. I saw Ben Affleck as Batman, and I saw what Batman could be. That type of Batman is what I want to see in the DCEU. And again, it doesn't have to be the whole vengeful, brutal version of Batman, but that specific character himself, how he could have been, the action, the presence, everything about him. I loved it. So the fact that we're losing that, it's a little disappointing. But I did mention this in one of our comments in previous videos. I think it was to Will. He says he was done with the DCU after this. And I don't fault you for saying that, but what I will say is that while it is disappointing and I will never match the enthusiasm and the hype level, the ecstaticness that I had pre-Zack Snyder's Justice League, I'll never match that. But I'm always going to be somewhat attached to this universe just because of my interest and investment in the characters and the DC characters themselves. Warner Brothers, you have a long way to go in terms of mending relationships with fans. I'm hoping that when the Discovery merger happens, they go a little bit towards doing so, but it's going to be hard to fix this mess that they made. And that's what I think. So I'm curious to know what you guys think about the whole Michael Keaton situation in the comments. Let me know what you think. Are you guys hyped about this? Let me know. I'm kind of curious. I'm sure there's a lot of different opinions. Okay, now we have another issue right here. So Superman, right? I talked about living in a time capsule, right? So there's this issue of Superman that goes on constantly on Twitter. And to me, it's a little confusing. But George Miller, this little clip of George Miller on IGN started making the rounds, and I'll post that right here. Definitely check it out if you want to see it in full context, but I'll just read the quote right here. It says, Superman is very boring because he has no faults. You really have to find his demons to get an internal conflict going. You really got to do that, whether that's by an external agency or something deep inside himself. You need that conflicted character. Now again, I hate when people lead with the statement that Superman is boring, because Superman, to me, is far from boring. Now, if you are stuck in that time capsule and stuck on the idea of the Christopher Reeve Superman, then yes, it's boring. We live in a different era. That Christopher Reeve, that version of Superman is great for that era. And again, I grew up watching it. But still, like George Miller says, again, I don't completely disagree with what he says, but I hate when I hate when you start off with the blanket statement that Superman is boring. Because I do think that people who say that are thinking about Superman as he exists in the Christopher Reeves universe. I don't think they're reading any comic book stories about Superman, because you can easily find bad Superman stories and really fleshed out, detailed, intricate versions of Superman in different stories if you go out and read some comics. Obviously, it depends on the writer, because you could write a really boring character and a different writer could take that character, spin it, and really make you invested in that character. In fact, my favorite Superman movie is Man of Steel. Why? Because Zack Snyder brought Superman into the modern day. And I will say this, Superman wasn't even on my radar in terms of favorite superheroes up until that movie. I started reading Superman comics after, because I had the same notion that George Miller had. Hey, he's kind of a boring character, whatever, he's invulnerable. I had a friend who loved Superman growing up, loved him. He was so obsessed with him, and I couldn't understand why. There was a lot of different things going on there. But when I saw Superman as he could be for this era, and I saw that this guy was, seemingly perfect, but really he's dealing with the same human issues that we are in a lot of different ways. And I think that played out a lot in Man of Steel. So go ahead and watch Man of Steel with that perspective going on. He is just a guy trying to do the right thing. Of course, he's an alien with all these incredible powers, but even with those powers, he does have vulnerabilities. He does have desires, a desire to fit in, find his place in this world, and he has these relationships that really mean something to him. So there's a lot of different things, and that's just a little kind of surface level type thing too. But Superman is a character can be interesting and is interesting in my opinion. So I'm glad he took the time to at least elaborate on it, and I think that what he said here is actually true for any character, right? But he does go on to, I think he talks about Batman in the little clip too. But I don't agree that Superman is a boring character. Of course, this got Twitter talking up a storm. So I'm curious to know what you guys think about this issue. Do you guys think Superman is a boring character? Again, I'll reiterate. Superman, every era is going to need this character interpreted in different ways, especially because every era has its own set of issues that kind of define the era, right? So I think that in this highly politicized, divided era that we are in, the Superman he exists in Man of Steel, BVS, I think that's something that represents us a little bit more. And again, that's not to say I don't love Superman as he's interpreted in all different types of stories and different comics too, because I can love all of them and not love some iterations as well. So again, I think that blanket statement sucks. I hate that. And I hate the fact that people may be stuck in the idea of Superman from the Christopher Reeve Superman. Just look at my last video. I think it was Matthew Vaughn who was talking about how Superman shouldn't be dark. He should be fun, should be colorful. That, I think, is the problem. People are stuck on that, and I think they're not ready to move on from that. So that's my take on it. Let me know what you guys think. Anyways, I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas if you guys do celebrate Christmas. If not, I hope you guys enjoy the time off. Stay safe out there, guys. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Like the video, subscribe. Catch you guys later. Peace.